All right, what's up, guys, and happy May the 4th. Today we're out in the backyard again for another chat through some training topics. Now, last time I did this was a few weeks ago, and I broke down my training, 3 things I did to crack 3 hours in the marathon, and a lot of that was around my mileage, ramping up to 100 miles a week, long runs, and consistency. And now I know a lot of people out there are not going to run 80 to 100 miles a week, and I don't think it's necessary to run a sub 3 hour marathon, but it's what I did. It's like an insurance policy, and I'm just addicted to running. I like running. So it's what I did to crack 3 hours. So in this video, I want to break down some of these specific workouts that I did that can be scaled down to lower mileage levels that you can implement into your training. And there are also good bellwethers or good markers to see if you're ready for a sub 3 hour marathon. So these are all workouts that I've done, some of them multiple times throughout the past 18 months, past year, to run 3 hour marathons. And now I've been able to consistently hit that sub 3 mark 2 times this year. And then I ran another 26-mile long run that was about 3:03 with some stops in there. So I believe that high mileage is the easiest way, not easiest, but it's the simplest way to guarantee that your aerobic fitness increases for the marathon. But if you're not going to dedicate 10 hours a week, and I don't think it's necessary, like I said, then starting with some of these workouts and building up to some of these workouts is a good way to progress your fitness. So with that, guys, let us get into it. We're gonna look at Strava. No one needs to see my face anyway. So what I wanted to do was go through some of my favorite workouts from over the past year, some of these workouts that helped me break 3 hours in the marathon. And what I want to start with first, it's gonna be the sexiest one. I don't typically start with the sexy ones, and man, I feel washed. I don't even know how to find what I'm looking for here. Does anybody know where to find? I'm trying to find the view with all the dots and everything. Look at that, 1,700 miles this year. I didn't want to run all those miles either, but forced myself to do it. Sometimes we just gotta eat our oatmeal. No shade to oatmeal. All right, hold on. I'm gonna come back to you when I found out what I'm looking for. Okay, progress. So you go to progress, and then, okay, best efforts. We can do this too. So the first one that I wanted to start off with was the half marathon. So if you are looking to break 3 hours in the marathon, a really good indicator and a really good workout is a sub 125 half. And if you look at here, I have 3 half marathons. I've actually run a 119, but that's not showing up here because it was one of those things where it wasn't over. Strava didn't record it as over 13.1 exactly, so it doesn't show up here. But look at these. I have 3 half marathons, 123.09, 123.11, 123.19. So this 123.19 was a tempo I did in January before my sub 3 build. And so I just ripped it. This was in the Boston 12. And look at that, 1,300 subs back then. But this is, oh, whoa. What is Strava doing? I feel like Strava keeps experimenting with their UI, and I am not, that better be a glitch. Look at that. The mountains are in front of the pace. That is aggressive. But look at this. This was the workout here. We started off at a 6:30 pace, 6:28, 6:37, 6:34, 6:27, 6:30, and then we gradually worked down to sub 6 minute pace. So if you plug your race result into one of those calculators, the V.02 calculator is a good one, and you get your equivalent time. Say you've run a 17:35K, it will tell you can run a 2:45 marathon. I'm making it up, but those are roughly equivalent. Also, my watch has this thing too, right? Let's look at this. It will tell me my fitness, which just keeps going down because I'm tired and running slow. But yeah, look at this, 17:29. That's actually my fitness right now. It says I could run a 17:29 5K. This is really hard to get on camera. There we go. Or a 2:45 marathon. Similarly, if you can run a 123 marathon, or half marathon, you should be able to run sub 3. And the training to be able to run a 123 half marathon is a lot easier. I'm going to say easier. I'm actually going to use the E word. It is a lot easier to be able to do this than to do the marathon. There's fewer variables. You don't need as much time, and you don't need as much aerobic fitness, which is one of the hardest things to do. To be able to consistently run 20-mile long runs, that's pretty tough. But for this, I was able to run a 123 half marathon on 16-mile long runs. You could do it on 10-mile long runs, really. So this is the first workout. It's not actually a workout, it's a race, but you could run it as a workout. If you can consistently run 125 half marathons and recover well after them, that's a good sign of having sub-3 potential. Now, I've done this 3 times. So this first one that we were doing, that we were looking at, was January. This one was from June 3rd. This was the Lake Norman half. By the way, this one will be coming up soon. If you're in the Carolina area, this is a fun one with 1,000 feet of elevation gain. And I actually won this one last year. It was a pretty small race, so maybe I'll go back for my title defense this year, and I wore the Vaporfly 2s. But again, we were, oh gosh, this graph is freaking out. But again, I actually started this off at around a 6:30 pace, 6:40, 6:30, worked my way down to 6 flat at the end. And let's take a look at the other time I did. Oh, during the Coast Guard Marathon. So then during my marathon PR, I also ran a 1:19 half marathon. That's funny. Or a 1:23 half marathon. So this is a really good indicator of sub-3 fitness. And if you can do this consistently, then you'll have the requisite speed to be able to run the type of race pace workouts that are going to get you to where you need to be. And that's going to be the second key workout, those race pace workouts. So let me fire up this is what I was trying to get to earlier, this little bubble thing. So let me find a good one for you. But these weekend race pace workouts are the best workouts you can do if you want to go sub-3. And this Strava graph is killing me. But let's take a look at this one. So this was in the Hoka Cielo X1 22-mile long run. Let's see the date, February 18th. So my race was April 7th. So this is about 7 weeks out from the marathon. Ran it as 22 miles. I would say to go sub-3, you don't need to be consistently doing 22s. In my experience, that's what's made it easy for me to recover. I think that's really going to be the biggest benefit for most of us hobby joggers who are running 245 to 330. Doing higher mileage makes a huge difference from the recovery, even if we're not doing elite speeds. It just makes it that much easier to get out there and run the next day. People ask me, I ran a 26-mile long run on Sunday, actually, and this week I did 2 20-mile double days. I did an 8-mile recovery run this morning on an 8-minute pace. I'm on pace for another 100-mile week. And the reason that I'm able to do that is because I've been consistent with the high mileage. So doing these longer long runs will make that recovery easier, and it'll be easier to hit these higher miles once you've been doing it consistently. But if you're running 40 or 50 miles a week, doing this within an 18-mile long run will work as well. But the way I ran this one was about 4 miles of warm-up, and for these long runs, it always takes me about 4 to 6, sometimes even 8 miles to feel like I'm fully into the run. Because if we're going to be out there for 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes, sometimes the whole first hour of that run, physically and mentally and emotionally, is a little bit of lubricating the muscles, the body, the mind, the spirit, the soul, all that good stuff. So a little bit of lubrication from mile 1 to mile 4 here, a nice gradual progression. And then I was holding a target race pace here of around 6:30 to 6:40. So to run sub-3, you only need 6:50s, but I actually ran 2:49. So this was closer to my race pace, and you could see I was running some 6:25, 6:24s in here. So this was 16 straight miles at marathon race pace with 2 miles of threshold in here. So mile 13 here, you can see the 6:11, bang right there. That was one of the threshold miles. There's some elevation gain, so my threshold should have been about 5:59. And then on mile 20 here, we hit 6 flat exactly. So that was right on point to where we needed to be. So the way I would modify this if you're only doing 16-mile long runs is doing a 2-mile warm-up and then 12 miles at race pace with 2 of those at threshold. So maybe mile 6 and mile 14. I'm just spitballing here. Yeah, 14. And then 2 cool down. So there's a way to scale these up or down, but being able to do 90 minutes at marathon race pace is going to be huge. And then what the threshold miles do, so threshold in this case, we're talking about the lactate threshold, which is the pace that you can hold for about an hour. Being able to scale up to that pace, or I don't know why I said scale, but I think the scale was just on, but being able to speed up to that pace and then back down to marathon pace is really hard. If you look at this here, mile 13, I went down to 6:11, which was pretty close to the pace, but then I couldn't crank it back up to 6:30s right away. I could only hit 6:40s. So this will prepare us for if there are hills, if you're running with a pack and there's a surge from competitors, it mimics the way that the race will go for a lot of people. The race will unfold. And one of the weaknesses I had in my last race actually was there was a pack and they weren't even surging. They were just holding the same pace I was. But when I was running with them, I just got in my head and wasn't able to adjust my effort to run well with the pack. So these types of workouts are good for making sure we can modulate or change up and down our effort during races. And I think the biggest thing too is the fast finish. So if you take a look at mile 20 here, 6 flat, being able to get that faster pace at the end. And what I've been doing recently too is not scaling back and not dropping down to recovery pace for the last 2 miles. What I'm trying to work on this block, and probably won't do it tomorrow because I'm a little bit tired, but it's fast finishing, super fast at the end. So if I were going to drop down to 6 flat for mile 20, holding that pace, baby, 21 and 22. And again, you don't have to be an elite to do this. You can do it wherever your fitness is, but that's going to be the best thing for mimicking how the race feels. And if we're doing this type of a workout on 100 miles per week with tired legs, that also mimics how the end stages of a race are as well. So this would be my second top workout, my second favorite workout. And it's funny because these long runs I used to absolutely hate. I used to hate. I hate the way that you talk. I hate the way that you I don't even know. I don't want to sing that anymore. This beef is getting ugly. Ugly. Yeah, I used to hate these long runs, man. So let's take a look at, this is 2023. Back in May, yeah, this is when I started really getting consistent with it. Let's take a look at this. This was about a year ago. April 30th, rocking the pink Pro 3s, feeling like Kill a Cam. That's what I said. Oh, and we did an animal census. That's cute. I saw 2 turtles, 2 blue jays, 8 deer, and 12 horses. Is the plural of horses? I guess so. And so this was a 16-mile run, average 7:18 pace, and I was able to fast finish this one. So that's nice. But man, these long runs used to be so difficult for me, but I made this goal last summer to do 16 weeks straight of 16-mile long runs. And Charlie and Mason, the family, they made me a little poster that said 16 by 16 when I completed that. It was super sweet. And now it's raining on me. But I think we're just going to rock it. We're just going to rock with it. But yeah, these 16-mile long runs, being consistent with it is really what helped me build up to this fitness. I used to really not like long runs, but then just doing them. I was the same way in high school, man. I used to hate pull-ups. So then I decided every day when I went to the gym, I was going to do, I think I started off with 5 sets of 5 pull-ups every day at the gym, first thing, as soon as I walked into the door. I did this for probably 5 years straight, where whenever I stepped foot into a gym, I would do those pull-ups first. It was 5 by 5 at one point, and then it was 3 by 10 anytime I stepped foot into that gym. And then pull-ups became my favorite exercise, and now long runs are my favorite run of the week, and I haven't missed a long run since, let's look at this. So yeah, April 3rd to 9th, 2023. I don't even know what I was doing here. 4 miles aerobic on the weekend. Yeah, I didn't do a long run here. And then seems like this was probably before Tuck Fest. Okay, so yeah, I have not missed a long run since April 24th for 1 year. 1 year straight. Let's take a look. Long run. There's going to be a lot of long runs. I could keep going forever, and there will be long runs forever because I haven't missed them. So I've turned my least favorite run into my favorite run, which has let me do things like what happened on Sunday, where I decided to run a 26-mile long run because I thought it would be fun, and I fast finished it here. And this was 2 hours and 59 minutes. I did pause my watch though, so that was it's not an official unofficial sub-3. It's an unofficial sub-3. I think the Strava said my pace. Let's see what it says. Second fastest time in the marathon. So yeah, 3:01:59, and it also did not count my 2:49 marathon PR because I think it was only 26.17 miles from the Coast Guard marathon. But long run, that is all to say. Long run. My favorite run of the week, and the run that can help you become a better marathoner, no matter where you are. Fast finishing that 2-hour long run, huge. Now, my last favorite workout, let's see if I can find this one for you. This is the 6x800. And let me see if I can find a good one for you. Yeah, look at it. Look at this. I never do these types of workouts anymore, but 8x800, 6 with alternating 800, 6x800, 6x800, 6x800. I've done this 6x800 workout a ton. I just think it's a great workout. This is a great way to get back into racing shape or back into the mentality of training. And so let's take a look at what pace I've been doing these at. So 6x800 at 6-minute pace. This was about a year ago on the treadmill and in the Takumi Sens. I actually remember this. This was in the downtown Brooklyn Holiday Inn basement gym overlooking the pool. Smelled like chlorine, about 77 degrees in there. This was before I went to this brand AI conference. I did this workout before I got pizza with my sister Jess. And I also went to the Bandit Run store right after that workout. I was listening to the Larry June Great Escape album. And I didn't buy anything from the Bandit running store. They weren't that nice to me in there. Anyway, I was doing that at about a 6-minute pace, 3-minute recovery jog, cool to 8 miles. And this was with the Apple Watch, but the treadmill tracking was still off. And you cannot recalibrate on the Apple Watch. So it says 7.56 miles. But this is a fun workout because 800, so that's half a mile. It's just enough time to feel like you're starting to breathe hard. You get that nice turnover in, but it's not so long that if you haven't been doing a lot of fast running, you can't sustain the pace. So just trying to do this around your threshold pace, and again, you can use one of those calculators. I might have to put one of these calculators on Subwell, so I stop sending traffic to these other websites. But go to the V.02 one for now. Once I put up the calculator, never go to that website again. But go to there, and you'll get your threshold pace. But if you can run this at about a 6 flat pace with a 2 to 3 minute jog and feel like it's fast but smooth, that's a good indicator of sub-3 pace. So let's look at the next time I did this workout, June 20th. With the boy Cam, also in the Takumi Sen 8. That's a great shoe. I got to put some more pace on the 10s. But, oh, this one, we were cooking, baby. Wow, look at that progression. So what was this? I'm trying to think. June 20th. This must have been right after, I think this was probably right after the half marathon we did. This might have been when I was getting back into it after that Lake Norman race. So let's take a look at this. Started off at a 5:49, then 5:39, 5:29, 5:17, 5:14, and 5:10 pace. So this indicated that fitness was booming. We were moving and grooving and improving, baby. So yeah, starting off at a 5:50 and progressing to 5:10. And you can see here, this was 3 months after that last time I did the 6x800 workout. So again, it's good to do these workouts over and over, the same workouts, because it's a great benchmark. And the long run, you can see, is my heart rate or is the effort going down as the distances get longer, as the pace increases. And for the long run, I would first focus on just increasing the distance. If you're now running 12-mile long runs, consistently run 16s every other weekend, and then make it 16s every weekend, and then make it 18s every weekend, and then 20s every other weekend, and then 20s every weekend, and then 22s every weekend. And once you can run 22s every weekend without getting injured, apply to become a running shoe reviewer with me, because you'll be putting up a lot of miles and can help me with durability testing. But with this, what I would look at is, if I'm doing this workout in June and then I do it in September, am I able to finish it faster in September? Because that's a good indicator that my fitness is running faster, and that my fitness is getting faster, and that my running is getting faster. I mean, that's a beautiful progression. Being able to do this with finishing that last 800 at a 5:10, that means the next time I do this workout, I have to finish the last 800 at a 4-something pace. So let's check out the next time I did this. And I've actually done this once before, or once after this. We'll have to look that up. But so this is the third time. This was in the Wave Rebellion Flash 2. This was earlier this year. Another 6x800. And this time we were just chilling around this 5:30 to 5:50 pace. 5:37, 5:46, 5:50, 5:39, 5:39, 5:32. And what's interesting about this workout though is, you can tell looking at these splits, once I settled into this 5:40 pace, I was just hanging out there. And so there wasn't this crazy progression like last time, but looking at this, it tells me I've gotten a little bit better at dialing in my effort and understanding where I should run these types of workouts. This is also at the beautiful track up there in Durham at Duke University. So that was a fun one to do it. And I did it with my guy, Olaf. And I let him try the Velocity Nitro 3. I let him try the SC Trainer V2. I let him try the Boston 12. I think he liked he loved the SC Trainer V2. He said it was soft and bouncy. He said the Boston 12, you needed to be an advanced runner to use. And then the Velocity Nitro 3, he thought those were bricks. I like that shoe. It's a firmer shoe, not a brick though. But again, 6x800, running this workout back and using it as a benchmark, I could actually tell here, my long run fitness is good, but my speed, this was during a 100-mile week, and that's one of the downsides of doing higher mileage. The speed isn't going to always be there. That's what I'm still trying to work on it, because I'm a little bit addicted to running high mileage. I love clipping off 22s every weekend, and it's not going to be the best for the low end speed, but I'm not really trying to run a 4:30 mile right now. I'm trying to improve my marathon fitness, but doing these types of workouts consistently is a good benchmark to see. It's a good way to check in, because maybe I'll do this workout this week, 6x800, and see where I end up, because if I'm clipping off 540s, that's telling me my legs are a little bit tired. If I'm able to hit 520s in a workout like this, that's telling me we're good to go, baby. We can run a 17 low 5K. So again, nice benchmark workout. I would shoot to run this at 6 flat. If you're trying to go sub 3, try to run this at 6 flat, see how that feels. If you feel like you're going all out on every rep to run 6 flat, then go back to those long runs and just go back to those long runs and hit that endurance. Try to fast finish and work on some lower end speed. But if you can't finish this workout at 6 flat, then I think sub 3 is going to be a little bit tough, because I've always been able to do this workout at 6 flat when I'm decently fresh and in sub 3 shape. So let's look up the last time I did this before I ran 249. I did this workout shout out to my guy Corey Adcock. His Garmin told him he was heat acclimated, but he said, I don't know, bruh, dead. Let's see what temperature it is. Ooh, 79, feels like 82, humidity 69%. Dang, sorry, Corey. And the Nova Blast 4 Blue, great shoe. Great shoe. All right, let me find this. There we go. All right, okay. 12 with pace work, 6x800, starting between half marathon and marathon effort. So let's take a look at this. And man, we got another beautiful progression. So with this one, I did a longer warm-up. I did, 7 miles of warm-up. This was in the Hyperion Elite 4, which I have not run in since we did this. And look at the elevation graph here. This was in Florida, as you can see, completely pancake flat. But little 6 mile, 7 mile warm-up in the Hyperion Elite, which is a great speed shoe, almost like a Takumi Sen. A nice shoe, but started off at 612, 609, 556, 556, 549, 532. So this was 5 days or 5 days after I ran that 255 marathon during training. So again, what I was telling you, I was running 612, 609 in the beginning here. Legs probably weren't completely bounced back. If I'm running this well under 6 minutes, that tells me I'm fresh and in killer wolf mentality, ready to eat. But this one, it took me a little bit to get warmed up into it, but again, was able to finish strong, 549, 532. And man, I swear, this finishing strong, the ability to finish out these workouts strong faster than I started, I attribute this 100% to those long runs. This is all fast finishing those long runs, running on tired legs, and running higher mileage. This is all aerobic fitness right here. Even running a 5:30 pace for me is aerobic fitness. Unless I'm under a 4:45 or something pace, it's all going to be aerobic fitness. So this is the type of workout that I would say, once you're doing this consistently, you're going to be in a good spot. And if we think about 6x800, that's only 3 miles of quality work per week or per workout. You don't need a ton of faster than race pace miles to get a sub 3 hour marathon. I did not do a ton of, let's just look at a random week here. So February 26th to March 3rd, 10 aerobic, 8 stroller miles, average 750, average 850. And then we had 10 miles here, 10 steady at a 6:40 pace. That is slower than our race pace. 20-mile double day, 8:50 pace, 8:20 pace. Again, another 20-mile double, 6:40 pace, 8:30 pace. And then another 20-mile double, 7:40 pace, 7:45 pace. And then the long run. So there are multiple ways to skin a cat. You can do a lot of faster efforts, but for me, doing volume with a little dose of speed here and there. So you can see I was touching near marathon pace a few times per week. And I'll do a bonus one here. That's my 4th favorite workout. Steady run. I love these steady type of runs. Look at this. I was just banging at 6:40 for 12 miles. That is a great workout right there for a sub-3. And you don't need to be doing it at 6:40. If you're going sub-3, you can do this at a 6:55, a 7:05. But another great workout. This also builds mental discipline. It builds mental fitness, puts you in the mental gym to be able to hold a pace steady. The difference between doing the 6x800 and this is in the race, you're not going to be easing off with a 2-minute recovery jog. But with this guy, you don't get that break. You really have to be disciplined with pacing. Just like how in the marathon, you got to be disciplined with pacing, which is something I'm still trying to work on. In training runs, I'm very disciplined with pacing. Sometimes, most of the time, in races, it's a little bit harder. So there you have it, guys. I like doing these training breakdowns. Let me know what you want to see next. This was a fun one. Yeah, let me know what training topics or workout stuff you want to see next. As you guys know, high mileage, consistency, and you don't have to be running 80 to 100 miles per week, but you run, I don't want to put a number to it, but if you can run 3 to 4 times a week for 3 years, I guarantee you your fitness will improve. If you're not doing consistent 2-hour long runs on the weekends and you do that for 16 weeks straight, do the 16-week challenge. 16 long runs, 16 miles, 16 weeks straight. You will improve your marathon fitness and your half marathon fitness. So I'm still trying to figure out my next goal race. I'm excited to dive into some more training and switch it up a little bit. Let me show you what I've been doing for this past week. So we're on pace for another 100-mile week here. I did this 26-mile long run on Sunday and then 2 20-mile double days this week. I didn't do anything too crazy with the pace, just consistent. And then tomorrow we have the 22-mile long run. So I'm excited to experiment a little bit more, maybe try something different in these next few weeks. I think I have some ideas to bring some different stuff onto the channel and with my running in the next few weeks. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for the long run. I appreciate you watching. Oh, I almost dropped that. Couldn't think of an NFL player who drops things a lot. Kadarius Toney. I don't know. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. One more thing. Oh, hold on. One more thing. Pizza night. Look at that. Look at that vegan cheese melted. Vegan pepperoni. Yeah, I need to get a bang from you.
That's fire.
Bang. Yes, we need. What'd you say?
That's fire.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, look at that towel.
Fire. Yeah, I've seen that hair before.
Fire.
Yeah.
That's a Fire Films pizza.